What up, crypto lovers and enthusiasts? Today we're going to look at Bitcoin because Bitcoin has dropped. It actually dropped a little bit lower than what I thought it could be. So I was off on that, but hey, I got to call it how I see it, right? I have to give you my bias and let you know what I see, how I see it. So today we're going to look at Bitcoin again. We're going to look at the 12 month. We're going to look at the weekly. We're going to look at the daily. We're going to look at the CME gap right there, and we're going to postulate, right? We're going to try to come to some conclusions to see really the question is, how low can we go? And we're going to try to answer that. We're going to try to guess. All right, well, that's what everyone's doing, is guessing, but at least we're going to make educated guesses. And so without further ado, let's do this. I gotta say, this is opportunity, guys. All right, this is opportunity. The question is, how low can we go? All right, I thought maybe we could keep this right here, okay, and I thought maybe we could just wick down here. But now that there's a body here, the whole wicking idea might be over. Although it's still possible that we can just come right back in. But to me, right now, it does look like since we broke here, we broke here. The next stop is right here, $40,000. Okay. The other reason for that is that I mentioned a video on it this week, is that we're really close now. Not just wicks. Now there's a body here, today's body here at this gap, CME futures gap. Okay, which starts at around 40,000, comes down to around 39,700. So it could be that we just close it, maybe a body, or maybe just wicks. Boom, boom, boom. Here, once that's done, I'd have to go back and reassess to see if we just kind of play with it around here, close it for a little while, and then come back up, which is fine. I mean, that's definitely something that we could see. And it does coincide with a lot of things. Okay, usually there is some type of dip. I did see someone say that there was like above here somewhere in like the $48,000 range. We got some strong rejection, and the chart that they showed does make sense too. And so maybe we do dip below to try to get some speed, to try to break on through. Okay, it's possible. Now I have a little theory too. For that, we got to look at the 12 month. Okay, but let's just finish up right here, right now, because there's still a possibility of this being a fake out and coming back up here. Although I honestly, my bias is that now I don't think so. Now I think we're gonna just make the move to touch 40,000 and to close this gap. Okay, so which that would be around 39,000, and I don't think, and I'm gonna say that I don't think we're gonna go down to 35. Okay, we have to lose 40,000 first. Okay, so right now, I think maybe we do touch here because we've lost all this already. So why not? It makes sense. But I don't think that we lose it. Okay, but if we do lose it, hey, it's opportunity. Okay, and I will find money where I can, however I can, to put into this market. And my portfolio is up, like, even now I haven't checked it, but I mean it's still up around 100%, even at these levels. So if it drops down, fantastic, because there are projects that I would love to get at a lower price. Even though I am well positioned, there are some projects that are there's always opportunities. Okay, and then some new ones that I want to get into, and if I can get into them cheaper, fantastic. All right. So besides that, what I think is going to happen, you already know this year. Now let's go to the 12 month. You already know this year. I think this candle is going to be around 80 to 100,000. Okay, this current candle that we're on right now. Now, I did make mention to you guys that generally speaking, we do see a wick into the previous body, into this body, 2023. Okay, what is this? 20 into 2019. Yeah, this was too big because this was also COVID as well. Okay, but this one, something more like along this line, and that's around 17%, by the way. This little wick. Okay, yeah, 17%. Yeah, around 17%, 18%. Right, 17, 18%. So what would that be? Okay, right now, this red little body that you see right here, once this thing goes up, because usually the body is up above the previous one. So what I think we're gonna get to, we could see between 80 and 100. This body. That's where I see it. So right now, it's just this wick. we're basically doing the wick, and right now it is a wick. It would be a tiny wick. Where would around 18% be? Based on the open of this candle, 18% is roughly around $35,000. Okay, around 18% would be $35,000. Okay, so could we see that? Yeah, I think I could imagine something like that. I could imagine a wick being like that, or it could be that we stay at around, we just close that gap and we stay around 39,000. You know, maybe wick down a little bit more. You know, for a small percentage, for basically to that point, 38,600. Okay, and that would be enough. That would qualify the wick. Okay, this wasn't a huge wick. That would qualify the wick that we have seen in previous candles. Okay, so that wick, and then after that the body, boom. I could envision something like 80 to 100 this year, the body, and maybe even wick a little higher, but or maybe not. You know, this one didn't really have too much of a wick there. This one didn't have too much of a wick there, so yeah, the body could close at around 80 or 100, and boom, that's it for 2024, and then the blow off top in 2025, which makes sense and coincides with a few things. Okay, one of the things that right here, early interest rate cuts by the Fed, probably not, say Fed officials. Okay, so coincides. It's amazing how some things coincide where the blow off top probably will be in 2025, because there were some people that thought maybe 2024, and I thought that was possible, but I said it's possible just basing it on when the Fed will cut. Okay, and if the Fed now looking like they'll cut later, then yeah, then it makes more sense to make that blow off top also later in 2025, which is where it usually is. Okay, this was the last blow off top, all right, in 2021. All right, so that's something to think about. All these things to think about. Now we also have to remember. This. I'll show this here. The ETF, guys. Okay, and this was as of yesterday, 118, January 18th. Okay, and this is BlackRock. These are all the ETFs, basically spot ETFs in the U.S. And this is the days and the amount of Bitcoins that they purchased on the 10th. For example, BlackRock bought 228. Right, that number was 228, and on the 11th they bought a lot more for their amount to be at 2,600, and this one they bought even more on the 12th, 11, okay, 16th. Now it's up to 16,000, and now on the 17th, it was up to 25,000. Their reporting sucks. Their reporting is late, but this guy at Crypto Capital 115C does a good job. He actually goes to the website and grabs all this information and puts it on this nice, beautiful, easy to read chart Excel for us, all right, so that we get an idea. And if you look at this, guys, all these guys are just buying more Bitcoin. Okay, it happens on the over the counter exchange, but eventually all this is going to add up, because there's only so much Bitcoin around. Okay, now you'll also see the Grayscale, which is the oldest Bitcoin fund. It was before the ETFs, right? And look at how much they charge as far as their fee, 1.5, by far the biggest. So what do you think these people are going to do? They're going to be like, okay, before we didn't have any options, so we were paying the 1.5 fee, but now look at all this, 0.3, 0.19, 0.25, 0.25, 0.39. BlackRock is at 0.25. Okay, so they're going to be like, you know what? Let me sell my position and let me buy this, and that's what's causing this, because during these days where BlackRock is at 228, 2,000, 11,000, 16,000, that's up. Even on 17th, 25,000. Okay, which was only a couple of days ago. They're already at 25,000 Bitcoin purchased, guys. All right, BlackRock was selling. Because people are getting out, obviously, as you can tell here, see here the reason why, which makes sense. I'm sure you would too. They're selling 619,000, 617,000, 605,000, 592,000, and on the 17th, 581,000. What you can tell here is that they're selling less and less, which is a good thing, although large amounts. Okay, so eventually this will subside. This will stop, right? Because the people that want to get out, there's only a certain amount, and eventually that will stop. And some of this money will find its way back in here, back into these ETFs, because they probably, not all, but some of it will probably find its way back in here. So these numbers from BlackRock, from Fidelity, from Bitwise, on the 18th, when this comes out, or the 19th, when this guy does updates, you're going to see this number 25,000 higher. maybe 28, 29, 30. Okay, and same thing here. These people are buying Bitcoin. Okay, yes, over the counter, so it doesn't affect the price as much, but eventually it will, because there's going to be less and less Bitcoin, and once there's less Bitcoin to sell, the price of Bitcoin is going to go up. Okay, the price of Bitcoin is going to go up. So with that, coming back here and looking at this, guys, all right, maybe the wick is right here. Okay, there's going to be a wick. There's already a wick, so it already completed how I see it, the pattern, right? A wick. It's just now how deep will that wick go? And I'm going to say that it's not going to go too deep. The most it would be at 34k, guys. Okay, maybe the most 35,000 really, and I honestly I don't see it, but I could be wrong. And if I am wrong, that's great, because it's opportunity. And as we saw, Bitcoin is probably going to go up this year. Okay, Bitcoin is probably going to go up this year. I believe it'll be at around 80 to 100,000 this year, probably later at the end, towards the end of the year. Okay, and so right now, with Bitcoin at 40,000, probably gonna touch down to 40,800, probably gonna touch down to 39,000. I'd be buying. I actually got some capital, a little bit of capital, and I'm gonna put it in. Maybe not today, but in these next couple of days. Okay, I'll be nibbling. Okay, I definitely have some projects that I want to buy. All right, so that's what I wanted to mention to you guys. Just interesting information, but don't forget, the ETFs are going to have an effect. The ETFs are going to have an effect. There's going to be a lot more money coming in, and as I've mentioned, all right, these history doesn't always rhyme, but it doesn't always repeat, but it does often rhyme. Okay, and so there is these 4-year cycles do have a pattern. Okay, and the pattern has not been broken yet. Okay, the pattern has not been broken yet. Maybe the ETF's going to add a little bit of gasoline. This is where I think we're going to top out at in 2025. So towards the end of this right here, yeah, right here somewhere. All right, 2025, where I think we'll probably top out at. And so right now we're just doing the part which what I thought a wick. Okay, so now a wick. Now the question is how low. I don't think too low, but if it does, again, I repeat, if it does get lower at around 35, it's opportunity. I honestly have a tough time believing anything lower than that. So just be careful. Don't be sitting there and miss this opportunity, because it could possibly well be your last one. Okay, it could possibly be your last opportunity before things start moving up, because it could be a shallow one. It could be just a shallow one. People are expecting 18%, but it's already dropped a good amount. All right, peaked here, dropped a few days, smaller drop. Maybe we spend a few days here touching, boom, 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 and then going up. That's my base case. That's what I think will probably happen. But if we do get down here in the next couple of days, on Monday or Tuesday or whatever, and then maybe we wick, or maybe if we lose it completely and spend Wednesday and Thursday kind of with bodies here, then I would say, okay, let me adjust my analysis. I think there is support right here at 38,000. Okay, that would be the next area between this no man's land. But if we break that, I think if we break 38,000, then I think maybe we do try to touch this area at 35,000. But again, first things first, we really got to see what happens here. Okay, see what happens here. Again, we lost this, so it does look bearish. I think we do get here. We do try to close this gap, as I've mentioned. But I think my base case is that we stay around here. We don't edge too far down below that, and maybe base for a little while and start moving back up, because those ETFs, as you guys saw, they keep buying. They keep buying, guys. Eventually, there's going to be a supply shock. Eventually, it's going to be positive for this price. Eventually, it's going to go up. All right. And remember, we're really close to this halving, and people know what happens after the halving. So there's going to be some front running. Believe that. So there's a lot of reasons to believe that this dip isn't going to be like way low. And if it is, again, hey, we'll reassess. We'll take it day by day. Okay. I don't mind being wrong, especially here, because it's opportunity. It's grand opportunities, especially for you guys that have zero exposure. This is the time. It's now or never. All right, this is the time. Because after April, guys, forget about it. Just sit in the sidelines and wait. So right now, the lower it is, the better it is for you guys. Okay, and honestly, the lower it is, the more amped up I get, the more excited I get, because I'm like, damn, I gotta find capital to put in this market. I don't care if I have to eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for like a month. I will do it because I believe so much in the massive returns that crypto can give you if you position yourself right. Okay, so there it is, guys. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. And here's another thing to look at too, DXY. Okay, it has moved up. Okay, so that's another. I don't think it's gonna come up to like here, right? I think it's just part and parcel of a slow move down, or maybe this is where it bases out right here. That's fine. While this does that, the markets are Bitcoin apparently is doing this. All right, so okay, that makes sense. Sometimes usually there is an inverse correlation between the DXY and Bitcoin, and that's cool. Not always, but right now it seems to be. But I don't think the DXY is going to go much higher. So there's also that. Just everything that I look at tells me, for me personally, my belief is that this dip will be relatively shallow. Okay, I don't know how long it'll last for, but it'll be relatively shallow, and honestly, I don't think it'll last too long either, because again, we have until April before the Bitcoin halving, and usually after that, that's when things start getting juicy. So I mean, towards getting closer to March and getting to the halving, I think we're gonna start moving up. Do we start moving up from here? Do we start moving up from here? Do we start moving up from here? I don't know. But I would say probabilities for me start moving up maybe from here, from this area. That's what I'm gonna say. But not from, although possible, I would say this is the least probable. I would say here, or maybe here, or maybe here. The least probable here. I don't think the probabilities from here would be really low to do it from the 30s, from down here, from the low 30s. I just don't see it. All right. So again, for right now, how low can we dip right now? Then because we lost this, I'm thinking now we fill that gap, 39,000. We don't go too much below it. All right. But we'll see what happens. And again, if we do, it's opportunity, guys. We're going to leave it there, or else I'm going to start talking about altcoins, and this video is going to get too long. All right. Next week, I will talk about altcoins again, but there is opportunity. So make sure you have your watch list. You're looking at your coins, your projects that you have high conviction in. Man, Trias just comes to mind because of the drop that it's had, because of the FUD regarding KuCoin. Huge opportunity, and just because it's such a great project. All right, so Trias right now is at a huge. If you have not looked at Trias, just spend a weekend to look at Trias. All right, and then you tell me how you feel on Monday when I talk about opportunities and altcoins. Let's see how long this dip lasts for, but it is opportunities. So and I do have capital. So after these videos that I do for today, I'm probably gonna nibble a little bit. I don't know if I can hold off till tomorrow, because you just never know. All right, and plus I have some capital, I think, earmarked for next week. So whatever it is next week, I'll add to it as well. These are the last opportunities, guys. All right, so take that for what it is. All right, guys, if you can, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment. I'm trying to grow this channel, and all that stuff helps. All right, I'll see you guys Monday. Have a great weekend. Talk to you later. Peace.